just say the jab has got close to home. Not with anybody that I talk about regularly on the show, but there's been a couple of instances today which I'll bring up to speed on at another time. But right now, I've got to go and help someone who needs to get to hospital. So through a long, strange set of circumstances, they'll be in hospital tomorrow, but I've got to get them from where they are to where they can be in the hospital first thing in the morning. It's to do with an eye problem, and quite a bad one. And yeah, a couple of jabs deep, so it's been a bad day with jabs. So outside of that, there is some other interesting news going down. All sorts of weird stories. People are saying, oh God, the Doomsday plane's in Australia. Yes, the Doomsday plane is in Australia. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the 747 EB4 that accompanies usually the president, but it accompanies many others as well. And of course, the Secretary of State Blinken is in town for the Operation Talisman Sabre, and he's had that in town. He doesn't fly on the Doomsday 747, and people in Brisbane may have seen it, and other places recently in Townsville. I think it was up there today. It has no windows on it, none at all. Blinken doesn't fly on it. They fly on a 757 or in a Gulfstream that travels with it. When it landed in Brisbane, it was accompanied by two C-17s and the Gulfstream and something else as well, from memory. But yes, that would be Secretary of Defence flying around here, having a look at Operation Talisman Sabre, and having a few jaunts up to far north Queensland. Keep an eye out, see whether or not he goes to Central Australia. That might be interesting, because it's only US politicians that get to go into that certain base in Central Australia that we all know, love, and shouldn't name. Not Australian ones, so we'll see what happens there. At any rate, where I am to where I have to be is going to take me over an hour and a half, so I'm not going to be dropping this person off where they need to be tonight so they can get to hospital first thing in the morning until after 7. I might be home sometime by 8:30 maybe if I'm lucky. If I'm still eyes awake at that stage, I will do a show. I'll bring you up to speed with a few interesting things, but I've been working pretty hard over the weekend about starting that radio show we talked about the other night. So got some interesting news coming up on that one, and well, let's just say I've already downloaded a radio station. So we're going to have some fun, and if you've got a bit of talent about you, I want to hear from you. We're going to get some new and interesting things happening on the website, and a whole heap more. So there's a whole heap of interesting things happening with the Voice of Freedom at the moment. It's just that right now I'm on one of those stretcher bearer missions, and if you're not aware of what a stretcher bearer mission is, then pretty soon I'm going to introduce you to the Voice of Freedom stretcher bearers, or at least the head of them, I hope, and that'll be a group of people who are here to help. So that's basically what I'm doing now. Thanks, folks. I will try and do a live a little bit later on, maybe after I've dropped everybody off, and we'll go from there. It'll be in the car on the way home, and obviously this is only going out on Nun 2K. It's not happening on Rumble, so if anybody wants to sweep over to the Rumble channel and put something up and say I'm there, or the reason I'm not there, that'd be great, because this phone for some reason won't let me put a show up there off it. All right, have a good night, folks. I've got to get on the road, and what a fun time it's going to be. Peak hour everywhere. Be safe on the roads, folks. Say a prayer for me. I'm out with the dickheads.